Hi, what's up? How is it going? That video we are going to be designing what's it called, a kids storybook. The title is Palena the Magical Dancer. So we're actually going to create the cover, then the inside of the storybook we are going to look for image that portray each pages. Actually I've downloaded an illustration that portray every informations that was actually included in each pages, and all these images, all these illustration of images is what we are going to be using right now. So without further ado, let's step into it. Mind you, all these images were downloaded in freepik.com. I actually generated these images with AI freepik command in freepik.com. Actually I've done tutorial in the past that portray all of this that can actually teaches you how to generate images right there in freepik.com. So without further ado, let's step into it. So right now let's get to let's change the page to A5, which is the normal size of storybook. So what we needed to do next is double click right here, automatically snap into the page, and there is this document that was sent to me by clients. Actually all these all the informations were typed by the clients. So let's make copy of this. So the first text we needed to copy is the Palena the Magic Dancer. So let's copy, Ctrl Z, then let's go over to page. So let's paste that. Click on our text tool, then click right there. A prompt shows up blinking right there. So then hit hold Ctrl key on your keyboard, then tap on V to paste. The dialog pops up, then hit OK, automatically pasted. So right now let's go over to the image that portray the cover. We are actually gonna make use of this, because this portrait a lot. So can you see that? So what I needed to do is to just zoom down. So let's have this reduce. So what I needed to do next is to Powerclip this into the background. So without changing anything, Powerclip, then hold Alt key on your keyboard, hold it down, then you select the image, release your Alt key, then let's adjust to fit into the page, just like so. So right now what we are going to be doing right now is to infuse the text into the scene right here. So what we need to do is to just drag that in, then let's make it white at first, then zoom up. So right now there's this font that I downloaded, so let's install all the font. At first we have Hello Sunday, so let's extract the content, then we have this. So let's go over and just search for that. So actually that was extracted, so this is it. So let's go over and install that, preview that at first, then let's install. Good, so that is installed. Good, close that. So what we're going to be doing is to go ahead and search for the fonts. So let's break that, then let's go ahead and hit Ctrl K. We're actually going to be using that font for the Palena, so let's just make that title case. So let's go on and search for that. Let's use that Hello Sunday. So can you see that? So let's make it wider. So let's bring the rest of the text downward. So we're actually gonna make this a little bit unique without complexing everything. So what we needed to do right now is to go ahead and have this copied, or better still, let's just make that. So let's locate what's it called. So we just have to really go on create a little bit of task. So let's use control 2. So right from here, drag. So right from here, we're gonna make it 2 layers. It's okay. Then go over and just reduce the thickness of that. That's actually too much. So as this right now, go over and break that up, break contour into pieces. So right now what we're going to be doing is to just use our color eyedropper tool, sample this color right here, point on the first line. Can you see that? So right now let's go over to the last line and group that. Then we are actually going to make that lemon, good, a little bit darker. So let's go on the main test, make that yellow. Then you go over and select your interactive view tool. Let's blend that all up. Good, nice one. So let's zoom down. So actually we are actually going to make the last one the dark color. Then let's go on and make this the lemon part of it, so make it green. So tap on that a little bit. So let's zoom down and see the effect of that. So what we're going to be doing is to select the main one. So let's apply gradient effect to that, shadow effect rather. So let's drag. So wait a while for that to take effect. So let's go on and darken it all up. Let's use 90. Good. So let's go on and reduce this. So let's make it 6. That's actually nice. So let's move it a bit closer, shift it a bit. Good, nice one. So go over to object, then break drop shadow apart, automatically breaks. Then let's zoom down. So what we're going to be doing next is to create a box right here. So let's make that the darker color. Hold Ctrl key on keyboard and you tap on pay down your keyboard, automatically it gets behind. So let's go over and to your shape tool, round it all up, then pull it all up. Then let's have this to be a bit wider. Palema the magical dancer, so that's nice. So center it all up, then set outline to none, center it all up with the palena. Can you see that? So nice one. So let's drop it down a bit, make it wider. That's nice. Good. So let's copy this, flip it to the other side. Then we are actually extract that content out of that started content. Then let's go over and make this the darker color, which is this. Right click, then go on click on none. So what we're going to be doing next is to really let's type the word bank. So let's go on word bank. So we're actually going to make that Dauma, make it white. Good. So we needed to just make that. So let's use Hello Sunday, make it wider. So let's make it title case. Good one. So let's make that yellow. That's nice. So let's type the rest of the information. This is actually gonna be, so let's make it princess which enter married, enter imposter, enter dress. That's nice. So let's make that white. So let's go on to the next information. So the next one has to be Prince. Enter imposter ugly, enter then Tiana. So what we're going to be doing now is to have let's type the hand. So that's the back of the storybook. So actually we needed to change the fonts. So let's go on to the font that we downloaded. So let's use Magica Navos. Let's extract the content. So let's go over and search for that. This is it. So let's go on and view that. So install. I think this will be nice. So let's change it, the font to Magica Netherlands. Good, nice one. So let's go and copy that, right click, then copy our properties. So let's reduce this a bit. You're gonna have to really widen it all up a bit. So let's go on and change the font. This font has to be regular, so let's make that the same font. Nice, can you see that? So this is actually nice. So let's reduce it a bit. Then let's have this a bit down or a bit wider, position it downward. Then let's go ahead and have this taped up. So what we needed to do right now is to make this golden yellow. Then let's have the outline to be white. So let's go ahead and make it 7 points. Check. Then scale with object. It's okay. Good, nice one. Zoom up. So what we're going to be doing now is to actually copy our property. Then let's have this to be just that color. Good, nice one. So go ahead, reduce. Good, nice one. So what we needed to do is to set the outline to none. Then let's go ahead and copy this inward a bit. Then let's have that to be the outline to be white. Then hit F12. Then let's make the outline 8. Good. So a bit reduce, widen up a bit. Good, nice one. Can you see that? So let's go into details. So let's create page by clicking on this plus. So automatically you have that. So what you need to do is to just separate this right from there and double click. So right now what we're going to be doing is to go ahead and have this to be yellow. Lighter yellow. Then let's go ahead and create a kind of character in between. So let's go ahead, copy that. Good. Let's combine all of this, make it white, set outline to none, then position it so let's go ahead and hit Ctrl S to save. Then let's save it Palena. So let's save it Palena. I'll click right here, then hit save, automatically save. So what we're going to be doing is to have a character like this as well. Then copy inward, then right drag that inward, right click to copy paste, automatically copy paste. Then let's go ahead and combine, Ctrl A, then make it white, set outline to white. Then let's go ahead and make duplication. So let's duplicate this, go ahead and duplicate. Good, Nice one. So let's combine everything together. Combine, then go ahead, let's convert to bitmap. So right now what we needed to do is to go ahead to what's it called, transparency tool. Click on that, then you go ahead to click on uniform transparency. Automatically to fit that image. So let's go ahead and convert to bitmap. After that is converted, so what we need to do is to Powerclip that into place. Powerclip, then adjust. Good. So what we needed to do right now is to go on to the main typed. So let's go on to the main document, which is this. So let's go ahead and go on to the first page which is this, a long time ago. So let's copy that at first. So we're actually gonna copy this at first, page by page, with the space left. So let's just copy, Ctrl Z, then let's go over to the page. So let's paste, select your text tool, then you go over and range it just like so. So let's paste, Ctrl V to paste. An indication pops out with a dialog box. Can you see it? So it's okay, automatically copies. So let's go ahead and change the font to Magical Island font. So let's zoom up and see what it is. So let's reduce a bit, zoom down. So what we're going to be doing now is to actually look for fonts that is a bit simpler. So let's go on to the font that we downloaded. So let's extract Sweet Summer. Let's extract that and see the outcome of it. So all this was downloaded online. It's a free free font. So let's go on and let's preview this. Is actually not it, so let's use this. So I think let's install this. Good. So let's go on and search for Sweetie fonts. I think this is too much. We'll rather go for this. So let's go on to the next ones to see how it is. Let's extract the symbolic spark. So let's go on and search for that. So let's install. So let's go on and search for symbolic okay, embolism spark. Okay, a long time ago there lived a dancer named Palema. She could dance very well because she had a magical necklace. I think this is nice, so let's leave it as that. So let's go on and create margin with the help of our ruler guide right from there. So let's bring this up a bit, so then bring this down, then actually bring another ruler to the extreme down. Good, nice one. So let's widen it all up. Good, that's nice. So let's go on to the next page. So let's copy the background, copy, then right click, then go over and hit on insert page, Ctrl V to paste. Then let's go on to the next page. So actually we needed to really have a ready-made box in which we are going to be pasting the images that portray, all the text. So let's go on and have this, to be white. So let's go on and create, a round, object with the help of our ellipse tool. So let's go on and just copy that inward. Good. So let's go on and just have this copy to the next angle, just like so. Right click, then go over and combine these two. Control L, then hold Shift key, select the rectangle, then you hit on trim, automatically trimmed up that. So right now what we're going to be doing is to have this to be, to be red or total yellow, then set outline to none. So good, nice one. So set outline to white, then let's have it to be, grayscale. So hit F12, then go ahead and let's make it, 16. Check on behind, scale width, it's okay. Good, this is too thick, so we actually gonna make it 9 points. It's okay, I think that's nice. So let's copy. That's actually gonna be a template for all the pages. So go over to the next page, Ctrl V to paste. So let's go on to the next, next page. So we copied this already, so let's add this copied as well. So all the way down to this. So all the way down to necklace, let's copy. Copy that, then let's go ahead to CorelDraw to paste that. So let's go on and go ahead and create, a box right there. Ctrl V to paste, then let's have it, change to A. Let's use 14 point, then go ahead and change it to embolism fonts. Then you go over to the next one. Let's make this, 14 point as well. It's okay. Go over to the next page. So let's have it, straight down. So what we're going to be doing now is to make this a bit, smaller, then position it, just like so. Good. So right now what we're going to be doing is to go ahead, then let's have this to be wrap around text. Good. Around the object, then go over to this, wrap around straddle text, then let's stretch this down to have the complete image right there showed up. So go on to the next one. Let's copy this, Ctrl Z, then go over, right click, then insert page after, Ctrl V to paste. So let's go ahead and so let's go on to the next page of the chapter, which is this. It was then Palema, best friend, and all of that, blah blah blah. Let's copy, Ctrl Z, then let's go ahead and copy to that, Ctrl V to paste, then go ahead and I will change to embolism spark, then have that stretch. So let's have this reduce a bit. Good, nice one. Center it all up. Good. So let's go on to the next page. We're actually going to make this 14 points, then go on to the next page, copy this, Control C, then right click, insert page after, Control V to paste, then go ahead and have this, so go on to the type document. So right from here, what you needed to do is to just copy right from here. There was blah 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 blah, then copy, Control Z to copy. So let's go ahead and copy that, paste that rather, Control V to paste. It's okay. Then go on and have it to be 14, then go ahead and change the font to that. Then let's widen this a bit, then position it all up. Good, nice one. So go on, copy, then right click, insert page after, Control V to paste, then go ahead and have this deleted, then go on to that has closed. We needed to open it all up. Let's look for the file and open it all up again. So let's search for where we are. So let's go on and just so this is actually the title. So let's just so let's go on to our page and search for where we are. So You never find it for dance competitions you cried. uh, the news was spread all around, blah 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 and all of that. So let's go ahead and search for the image. So let's use this. So this actually was downloaded in freepay.com. So let's have this, Powerclip right there. Control page up, then let's Powerclip this into place. Powerclip without key. So let's reduce it. Good. Position it all up. Good. Nice one. So let's zoom up to see how catchy it is. So let's have that. Good. This is actually nice. So let's go on to the next page. So actually we have come to the end of the tutorial. I don't want this tutorial to be longer than this. So all these spaces, the picture, so we're actually going to leave that for now. So the main aspect of it that you really learned so far is the aspect of the creativity. So here we come to the end tutorial, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the button to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that like button so that other people can benefit from what we have shared so far. As I always say in my channel, see you in the next video. Bye for now.